Good morning and welcome to today's session of Moments with Clara. Thank you so much for the encouragement that you give me in sharing these moments together with you. We are beginning today a series of really hard topics. We are going to be talking about how grief differs among parents and how especially grief gets very complicated during certain ways that children die. Today, we are going to be talking about specifically children who have died by suicide, the way that grief affects a parent. And we're going to be staying on this topic for the next couple of days. We're going to talk about why this grief is so complicated, what makes it different from the other grieving through the loss of a child, and perhaps some ways that we can help to get some much needed encouragement while grieving our way through the loss of a child by means of suicide. When a child takes his or her own life, it's tragic, it's unbelievable, it disarms us completely. We were not expecting this. Even when there's been a history of mental illness, depression, anxiety, bipolar, whatever the mental illness might be, we still are never, ever prepared for suicide. That shock alone sends a parent reeling into a cave of grief that is hard to explain, totally just foreign to us. We've never felt such isolation, never felt such pain, never felt such aloneness and questioning. The big overwhelming question is why? Why did my child do this? I wish that in these sessions I could say, we're going to find some answers for you, but I can't say that, and you know that. We cannot read inside the minds of our children. We don't always know what's going on in their minds. Often they struggle, and I call it they struggle with their mental demons, whatever those may be, and they don't share that with others. That happens so much of the time. If you and I are being honest, we've done that ourselves from time to time, where we just struggle through certain painful moments and months and maybe even years in our lives. And we don't share that deep, unrelenting pain with anyone because we don't want to hurt others. We don't want to burden them. We feel like others won't understand. And, the reasons go on and on. When a child takes his or her life, I often feel that they do that and don't understand the permanence of what they're doing. Now, I don't expect that to help you in a big way, but I do hope that it helps each parent to understand that maybe, just maybe, my child wasn't thinking rationally at that moment and didn't understand that the actions that they are taking are not going to be able to be reversed. Let that sink in for a while. I don't feel like every suicide was intentional. I really don't. And those of you who are grieving the loss of your child by suicide know that many times this is a spur of the moment act, out of anger, out of pain, out of maybe a painful breakup, maybe a lack of medication, and just everything goes awry, and the next thing we know, our child has breathed their last breath. That's hard. It's excruciatingly hard. It's terribly difficult to digest that. And it puts this grief in a category all of its own. It is a very complicated, layered grief. Not only are you grieving the death of your child, but you are grieving the means by which your child died. Often parents get angry thinking my child didn't come to me when they should have. They know they could talk to me about anything. Or a parent just gets so filled with grief and guilt, thinking my child could have come to me but didn't. I should have seen the signs and I didn't. What is wrong with me? I'm a horrible parent. That's not true. We're going to discuss each of these things in the next several sessions. I want you to sit tight. I want you to hang in there with me. And I promise you that the last segment, I think we're going to do 3 or 4 just on suicide. That's one of the complicated griefs we'll be talking about. But I promise you that we will come up with things that can help you, that are proven to help you. I hope that you will be encouraged by this. I know that often so many will not even address this topic because they just won't. It's too sensitive. And I feel like we need to lift up the lid and talk about it. You and I need to talk about this because it's important, and I want you to begin some sort of healing. I love you. My thoughts are with you. If suicide has not touched your family, I know that everyone at least knows some family whose lives have been touched by death by suicide. Please listen, please glean the information that is going to be shared with you, and together let's travel this difficult path and try to lend encouragement and learn how to gain some healing. Thank you for sticking with me in today's introduction to the way parents grieve the loss of a child by suicide. And we will be back again tomorrow with another session on this. And in the meantime, I'm sending you lots of love, my prayers, and my prayer is that you will somehow receive some kind of hope and comfort through these sessions together. My love to you, and I will see you tomorrow with a continuation of Moments with Clara.